Hello and welcome. You don't give up that easy. Achievement Book 2. Carl's Doomsday scenario finished. Your reward. You get to spend the next who the heck knows how long with the four handsomest gentlemen on BookTube. All right, guys. All right, Joe. Let them know who you are, Joe, if they don't. They should already know.
You can see in the little box. I'm JCM Byrne, author of The Hybrid Helix. And book 7 is in editing right now, so hopefully be out in the next month or two. And big announcement, I just signed my narrator to do audio for books 2 and 3 at the end of the year. So can't promise when it'll be released, but hopefully around Christmas time. So nice. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that for a long time because Wayne is great, and I think a lot of my readers are really audio people, and like they're stuck at book 1. So anyway, so that's that, and otherwise just happy to be here to talk about my buddy Carl.
All right, Josh, let them know who you are.
Hi, I'm Josh from Already Overbooked. I have a channel where I read a bunch of books and I talk about it. So if you like books and want to see me ramble about it on a weekly basis, come check me out. And it's a lot of fun. We have a good time over there. I started something new. That I started bookbinding. So if you're interested in seeing me learn a new hobby, I'm not good at it, but it's been fun. Come check me out.
You really aren't.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Bad, man.
I'm looking forward to where you go.
Yeah.
It's excited to see where you about the journey.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And Chris has made it.
Yes, I am here. I'm Chris. Same as Josh said, I do a BookTube channel, The Bearded Book Beast, as you can see right here. And yeah, I do the same thing. Me and Josh love to read books, so we both talk about them. We like to do some live chats with authors and other booktubers, and we both have a lot of fun. So yeah, if you like books and you like to hear people talk about them, check out Josh and then check out me.
Check them all out. Subscribe. Yeah, so I was pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie. The first book was just super fun, refreshing, new. I had dabbled a little bit in some lit RPG, but nothing this hardcore. Like this was definitely like laid out there. And I know we talked about in the first one, like that was maybe my least favorite part was all the leveling and the stuff. But I had to really hold myself back from just reading the next book immediately because it was so fun. So Joe, you waited a little bit, right? Because you and Chris we're all three of us are going through it together, right? Whereas Josh he just blew right through.
I mean, I would have read it sooner. I mean, part of my problem is always like my TBR is huge and I have commitments. So it's like people like I'm gonna meet in August at Worldcon. I'm like I should really read their book, and then it's like people asking me to beta read for them. So it's very different than what I would do if I was just a guy like on my own reading whatever I felt like.
Right.
So I definitely wanted to read this book. But then I ended up putting it off until I had to. but not because I was like but it wasn't like I was dreading it and I didn't really want to pick it up. I really wanted to pick it up. I just ended up like I got to plow through some other things that I want to read because the authors have asked me for stuff, whatever. So I picked it up a few days ago. I blew through it really fast because it's easy. I don't have to put it down. Like there's a lot of books where I have to put them down. Like at certain points I'm like like just reading I was talking these off camera, we were talking about the Morning Star. It's like someone dies and I'm just like I'm putting this one down for a bit because
give me a couple hours.
I don't want to read the next chapter right now because my favorite guy just got killed, and that doesn't people die in Dungeon Crawler Horror, but no one I care about generally.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So I love this. I thought this book was great.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, same. I finished the first one like end of the month. Let's see, what month are we in? April. So end of March. And then I did the second book right away in the beginning of this month. So I was trying to look up like a quick recap, trying to remember everything that happened because it's been like 3 weeks or whatever now. But it went so quick. Like I feel like the first one I loved, and I felt like it went fast, but the second one seemed like it went even quicker. I don't know. Is the second one shorter than the first one? Because I did on audio, and now I don't remember. Or is it longer? But it seemed like it went through
longer.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
seemed quicker. But yeah, it was great. I really liked it. I mean, and once you do the audio, like, unless you're just not an audio person at all, it's hard to not just keep doing the audio. It's so good. He does such a good job.
I felt there were less like new things thrown at you in this. Like, so if you read the first one, this was less like, it was less to absorb, not in a bad way. It just meant like it went a little quicker because it wasn't like all these new concepts coming out of the blue. It's like you already got the basics
established.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh, when you were reading these, did you just binge them, or were you like right into the next one?
Yeah, every month I was like, I'm reading these every single month until I finish it. I tend to do that with series. I'm like, I did the same thing with Jack Reacher. I'm doing the same thing now with Repairman Jack. It's just like when I pick a series, I'm like, I'm binging this and nothing. I will stop everything else to read this book, and that's how I was. It could be next. It could be next. But yeah, so I picked one series and I binge it. And last year was Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it was a lot of fun. This book specifically was different compared to the first one. I liked the class where they had to go through and pick their classes. I thought that was very cool dynamic to it. And then the trickery that's kind of happening now, where they go through and say one thing and then they're like, and even though I'm gonna do this, no, I'm gonna do this instead. And I find that more fun. It was I felt like this book was more fun and engaging compared to book one, personally.
Yeah, well, kind of like Joe said, I think I think in this book he doesn't have to lay out all this stuff for us. He doesn't he doesn't have to build the world up. I mean, each level is its own kind of world, so he does have to kind of take time describing that. But we know what the world is now. We know the most of the mechanics. So yeah, it felt so fast paced. Like it was just like, it's like, all right, you guys are ready to go. I don't have to hold your hand anymore. And it was just off to the races. But one of our favorite characters, Mordecai, is back. And he is now a succubus. So that was pretty hilarious. Like when he just showed up, they're like, Mordecai, what happened to you? And he's like, don't even worry about it. Like he's kind of trying to play it off. And I just thought that was hilarious.
That's good.
That was.
So what was your guys' first impressions when you first got into book two?
I guess it because I did them so close together, it felt like a good just continuation of the first one, which I liked, because sometimes you read a book and there's time skip or that you got to remember things, but it felt like it was just bam, you're right back into it, which was kind of nice. I like that. That's kind of how I felt at first. Like, oh, good. The things that it left hanging in the first one were right back into it right away, which was good.
So this book was a little bit more terrifying for me. I don't like carnivals and clowns and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you
so it was like in depth in there. So like the visualizations I was having, I was like, oh, this is terrifying. But it still was fun. I love this book. It was cool.
Yeah, there's some gross stuff in here with the clowns. Like it was very descriptive, and I'm like, okay, oh buddy, you've been playing maybe don't play video games so late at night or something, or I don't know. Something's going on here. I actually the first half I liked it, but I didn't really get thrilled until they were being interviewed on the show, and Carl starts doing Revolutionary Carl, and then I'm like, how I think I said this. I feel it was the same point in the first book is when they were being interviewed is where I went, oh, this isn't just fun. This is a little more than just fun. And I had the same feeling in the second book because it's a similar structure, right? He's like puddling around in the game, killing stuff, getting picking a class. All right, he's puddling around, and then like things happen. Then the stuff on the interview show, and then like a big action sequence to close it out with consequences, right? That's like the same structure as the first book, which is fine. That's a good structure. But like again, I felt really grabbed by that. I liked the first part, but I really got grabbed by that because I like that. I like the revolutionary Carl.
That was good.
You know, the where the bigger plot threads come in, because when you know he's punching clowns in the face, I'm like, okay, that's fun, but it's those, like, you know, the big picture elements and how they influence what's happening in the game. To me, that's what makes it really like a step up. It's just I don't know another way to put it. It elevates the story to me, makes it more my kind of thing.
Yeah.
So without spoiling anything for you, Joe, each book adds more and more of that. So it adds in more of that, weaving in, like, there's higher things coming into the universe. It's not just like, hit this goblin in the head, you get a loot box. Hit this one in the head, you get a loot box. It's like there adds more and more layers to it. So I think as it progresses, you're going to enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah. And I really like it. So again, it's just don't take this as me crapping on the first two books at all. So that's not what I meant. Yeah, that's cool. And Donut was still fun. Donut's the one character I thought I wouldn't like, because people describe her and I'm like, this doesn't sound like my kind of character. And then you're doing like, she's my kind of character. I was wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You know,
exactly.
But he's good. He's like just enough of that those like pathos filled moments, you know, where she's like, I know she's dead, talking about. We can do spoilers on this, right? We're doing spoilers. Okay. Like I know he's dead or whatever, and you're like, just in it, because if that was layered on too thick, you wouldn't, you know, Carl crying in the corner and her comforting him. You can't do that every like 4 times a book. Because then it would just be like, stop whining, you know. But you can do it once in a while, and that's just Matt Dinniman being good.
Yeah,
like he knows what he's doing. In my opinion, like he just really skillful.
What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was going to say the same thing. I love how it mixes in stuff like that. And especially with, that was cool with Donut's character, because most of the time they just have so much banter, and she's, you know, kind of like putting him down all the time, and he's pissed off at her all the time. But you can tell that there's like this, you know, the connection between them. Because anytime one of them almost dies, the other one, you can tell, is upset. But I did love that moment, how when it just gets real like that, it's just done so well. It just drops it in where it's funny, and then it's, you know, all of a sudden there's this serious moment, and it just hits so different the way he layers it in. Like, that's, I agree with Joe. He does it. He's really good at that.
It's good.
Yeah, and the thing, like, I agree 100% with Joe. Was like, even at the beginning of the first book, I was like, I don't think I'm going to like Donut. Like, this is going to be a character this is going to be a character they want you to like, and I'm just not going to be there for it. But about halfway through this book, I'm like, this is Geralt and Dandelion. This is what it is. Like, I'm just like, this is amazing, you know, and kind of like you said, they had that personal moment, and it wasn't like anything big was happening at the time. I think they had just left one of the, like, not the big interview, but they'd left one of the smaller interviews, and like Donut like kind of just looks over him. She goes, you know, Carl, I know she's dead. And I'm just like, and you're like, wow, for her to say that at that point, you know, it's like, that was a hard hitting little section there. Because she always plays it up kind of like the Dandelion role. Like, she's like, I'm just nothing misses with me. I'm the best, you know, like, and you know, for her to have like a human moment, you know, there was really actually pretty deep.
Yeah,
totally.
You know, and then like Chris said, we got to see like higher beings coming into this, level this time. Like, what were, like, I'm trying to remember what the woman's name was, like Sig something. Her name started with an S, but she had like these tattoos that were like moved around on her skin, and then she had like the ability to like if she got blood like sacrifice, she could release them, and they could. I'm like that was a visceral like you know, thing. And then when she actually started using some of the powers, I was like, oh man, I was like, I'm gonna love this, because politics really started to come into, like, it was a little bit towards the end of the book, but this one is like Carl's now realizing like he's playing a game for sure. Like,
right.
and then after that, what did you guys think about like the big interview when Carl just started bad mouthing? What did you think? What was going on in your mind, Chris, when he started just going off?
Well, I mean, it was awesome, but you know, I was a little worried too. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if this is gonna pay off the way he thinks, but it was pretty entertaining. Like, and doing it on audio, just hearing it instead of just reading it was so good too. Like, he just does such a good job. But yeah, that was very enjoyable. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of this book for sure.
What do you think, Josh, about the politics being brought in?
Oh, it's one of my favorite parts of the book. It's one of my favorites. I truly enjoy the extra level, the additional gameplay that needs to occur within this story. It's not just, okay, I need to survive to get from level to level to get through. It's like, oh no, I'm playing a different type of game as well. So I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to be entertaining because they want to get those views and those followers and stuff. But it's also, oh, there's an extra level that I'm playing against the creators and the other people as well. So no, it's one of my favorite parts of the whole story.
Well, it's two games, right? Like, Carl kind of wants to survive to level whatever 13, and like, but I think that Carl doesn't really think that's going to happen. Like, he says, he doesn't say it in this book so much, but in book 1, he basically says like, I don't think that's going to work. So his game is, you know, while I'm getting as far as I can and trying, I'm going to do my best. Let's do as much damage to the actual enemies, because that's the other thing he realizes really early on. The actual enemies are not the NPCs in the game, right? They're victims as much as anyone. He'll kill them, right? But you know, but he's going to score points where he can, and the only points he can score, you know, maybe if he plants this idea in a few like regular people watching the show, that'll pay off later. You know, so that was, it's good. It's like he's keeping. You can tell he's got his eye on the ball, on the right balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like Carl is becoming a Spartacus-like character, like slowly, not there yet, but I feel like
he's naked half the time, just like Spartacus, all the gladiator movies, right?
Very, very familiar. I mean,
yeah. He's playing highlight now.
You know, I mean, he got the what do you get, the free balling upgrade?
Oh yeah, yep,
yeah.
Not allowed to put on pants. Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like I liked that he put more focus. Like in the first book, I mean, how many dozens, if not hundreds of times did it like, oh, like told us all the stuff that they got inside of the loot boxes, like over and over. Like this one, it was more focused about inside, like, all right, this specific thing I just got, you know, and how can I use that, you know, and Carl is starting to see, and I forget, it was like an assistant to one of the city bosses that had like that glass case that she kept her like Beanie Babies in or something, and like he blew up her room or something, you know, to take her out, and the box was unbroken, and like Carl immediately goes, that's something that can be exploited, you know. And that's my favorite thing, like in this book, is Carl's like exploits, you know. And I've always loved those in like Oblivion and Skyrim. I always loved finding the little exploits. So I feel like that. I mean, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
But Josh, what was one of the you know, ways that you know, we had two storylines here, right? We had the prostitutes, right? We had that storyline, and then I'm trying to think of the other main storyline. Well, of course, Carl trying to get down to the next floor, but it was I forget what the flying people, but like they ran this whole like little city that Carl stayed pretty much inside of like the one city, and it was very like a medieval.
Yeah.
But what did you think about the little side quests that Carl got sucked into on this one?
Yeah, I honestly I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was cool. I liked some of the I'm trying to remember there was a flaming, what was it at the beginning he was dealing with? It was a loomis. I'm trying to go through but I went through and I was like, I don't know what kind of animal this is. And it was like a little ferret thing that he was going through that was throwing flames at him. And I was like, that's amazing. So I caught myself throughout the story, like looking like, what does this animal look like? So I can visually see what it looks like in my head.
Yeah.
And I had it ridiculous in my head. And then like seeing an actual, what it looked like, I'm like, oh, I need more visuals of what this looks like. So I need pictures of like, hey, in case you're curious, this is what this crazy little animal looks like. It's throwing flame balls at you. No, I loved it. It's always fun to go through and have a vision in your head and then trying to correlate with what the author wanted. It was a lot of fun. And then like Chris keeps mentioning, the audiobook version is fantastic. Because if I'm not mistaken, Joe, you're reading it physically, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And how was that experience with book 2? Is it still how you liked it in book compared to book 1?
I don't ever do audiobooks, so I don't have I can't compare, but okay. I enjoyed it. And I think in book 1 we noticed that, or I feel like I noticed that other people love the AI character, and as a sight reader, I didn't really care about the AI nearly as much as people who listen to the audio. I don't know if there's a comparable thing going on in this book where there's someone like, I didn't care about this person, but the audio is so good that people will love, like, because the AI didn't. I feel like there wasn't a lot of dialogue from the AI in this book. So I can't remember a whole lot. But you know, I still the dialogue is still written very like with a lot of character. So it's like the people come through even without someone reading it, even without the voice actor. So yeah.
I definitely feel like the AI is more lent towards the audiobook for sure, because just the way it pops out of nowhere, kind of like that 50s announcer. It's like, and then I think we got he made it.
Oh man, trouble's here.
Some technical difficulties there.
But we were just talking about how the AI doesn't have isn't quite as as critical to the story as it seemed to be in the first book.
There was probably some stuff going on behind the scenes with the AI at that time. Don't worry, that'll pick up here in the next one.
Did anyone look up the highlight stuff? Did anyone check to see if the name of the scoop he uses, if it's legit? Because I never heard that term.
What is it again?
It's from highlight, right? The scoop he had and it's a sport, right? They play it in Florida. They have people play highlight.
Yeah. It's like it's the little hand, almost like a hand playing handball, but you play. Yeah.
I assume the words are accurate, the terms are, but I'd actually Google it. I'd actually look it up because I don't know what that thing is called. But did they use the right words? Anyone check? Anyone verify?
I don't know.
Verify? No.
It's fine. I don't know if the words were.
It probably is. It probably is.
But it's so weird. Go ahead.
I just wish I wish I knew more about highlight, because he's giving you the clue, right? That art that must be like the Spanish word for highlight or something, right? Because he got the hobby, and I'm like, I could Google this and figure out what this is, but I just didn't. and then when he pulled out when he started using it to toss bombs, I'm like, I should have seen that coming, because I should have looked that up and figured out what it was, but I didn't. Right. It's okay. I still enjoyed it. It's just
Nathan, like he at the beginning of the book, it's weird. It's kind of like he was letting us know that something was going to come, because they kept talking about he kept talking about his slingshot at the very beginning of the book, and he's like. But then he upgraded his punching ability or his strength, one of the two. And then it was he's like, well, I could probably throw it with my hand better than I could. And then I was like, and then of course, that they give him that. And I'm like, makes perfect sense now. Makes perfect sense.
Oh, okay. Now I understand what you're talking about. I thought it was a part of lacrosse. I thought it was like a little cross thing.
No, I
Highlight.
think it's its own little, but it kind of looks, yeah, it's kind of shaped like that. It's weird. Anytime I
Well,
think
that's
about
what was in my
whatever
brain when I
is,
was picturing it.
yeah, anytime
No,
I
it's
see
a
that,
scoop.
yeah,
Google it.
I can
It's
only
that's
think
what they use
of,
for highlight.
yeah, I can only think of Jackass the movie,
But
where they had
I only
everyone
know
stand against the wall and fling oranges at each other with them.
Yeah, but I only know what highlight is because I used to visit my grandmother in Florida, and they used to play like highlight around like Orlando. But otherwise, I would never have heard of this sport. So I don't know how many of the readers know what highlight is. I don't know if that's like a thing people everybody knows.
I've
What?
never heard of it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
Jailai. Yeah, Google it. Like you'll see that scoop, and the way they throw. Yeah, Jailai. Yeah, and you can just watch like a YouTube video of like 10 seconds of it, and but if you just Google it, it shows you what that scoop looks like.
Yep.
yeah,
And you can totally see that. Once you see the scoop, you're like, yeah, you put a grenade in that, and that just sounds like a good time for everybody.
yeah, that's just a good time.
Yeah.
And of course, that plays perfectly into the classes he picked.
Yeah.
Compensated anarchist, I think, as it was.
Yep.
Of course,
I love that.
Of course, I freaking love it.
I love the child actor. As soon as I saw that as the one of the choices, I'm like, she's picking that. I have no doubt whatsoever.
You guys saw at the end of the first book and everything, basically Bernadette, that was her name, right? The talk show host. Can't remember her name. Odette, there you go. Like she basically told them to pick that specifically to retain and hold Mordecai.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that was.
And she was like, "Don't ever let him know you did that. He will never forgive you. He'll forgive Donut. She's a child, but he'll never forgive you."
Yeah, that was such an ingenious move, and it's so funny because, like, Carl still has some humanity to him because he's like he felt bad. He's like he goes, I don't know what the negative aspect to this for Mordecai is. He goes, but I know there's something negative going to happen to him for being our manager. But like Mordecai was talking about how he gets all this money out of this, and then you're like, well, what's the downside? Because there's nothing in Dungeon Crawler Carl is free. Like, there's always a con to the pro.
Yep.
We don't know yet, right? As readers of the second book, we don't know yet what the downside is for Mordecai, right?
No.
Right. No, we
Okay.
don't.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I missed something. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we don't know yet.
Maybe
But I
almost.
assume he'll let
crazy
Carl know as soon as Carl's going to let it out of the bag that he did this on purpose, or somebody's going to tell him. And then it's going to blow up, and Mordecai's going to be like, well, you know what? It might even be something that hurts Carl. It could be like, oh, Carl, well, guess what, Carl? Now I can't go down to level 10 with you. Good job. Or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But Chris, how did you feel about about this the world that he was building here in this level itself?
I think it's cool. Like I love, like I was thinking about when Joe was talking about the scoop, even like that, the way that he feeds into the whole video game thing. Like we've all played a game where you have to like beat a certain bad guy, and you just can't do it unless you find that one certain weapon or that one whatever you need, and there's so many times he does stuff like that. And then with the worlds, I love how it's switches up all the time when he's in different areas. And I thought this one was pretty cool. But yeah, I love the way that he does that. He keeps it interesting, keeps it fresh. So yeah, I think he did a good job with that.
Oh yeah. Just to throw out there also, Joe, to let you know, I'd been sitting there for a minute. The character name you were looking for was Signet.
Signet. Yeah, I think that was close. I knew it was Sig something.
And what'd you guys think of when, like you were saying earlier, about Carl picking up on the fact that the system works the way it does and the exploits? Like, this is where you start seeing his viewership numbers start to spike because he starts doing some seriously crazy shit, like going into the circus and learning about poisoning himself and pouring the blood on the freaking tree. Like that would have completely just killed that entire thing. Yeah, it would have been over. But yeah, he had to go and do it a different way for other reasons. But like, that's the stuff I love. I mean, I'm like, okay, I could go in there guns a-blazing, punch the crap out of everyone, maybe get the worms in me and stuff and all that nastiness. Or I could just go in there, pay a fee, and sit down at the very back and drip a little bit of poison on this branch, and then just sit back and watch the chaos.
Yeah.
Well, and Josh, like that's one thing I love in this book is like Matt Dinniman he's aware that his readers aren't stupid, so he's not playing Carl like in the background where Carl's not telling us that he's learning things. He's like Carl, like he's like, yeah. He goes, I know I could just level up my punch another 10 points, and sure, yeah, I could probably punch through most things for the next 4 levels. He goes, but I know I'm not going to be able to do that at the lower levels.
That's
so
the book
Carl
I would have
is
written.
Like, so he's making decisions like to not like just become this like brawler type of person, because he knows that that's probably not going to work against really high level people.
Right.
Well, what I also like about it is, I don't know how you guys play video games, but I always try to find, I don't like going like, oh, I'm supposed to go this route, I'm supposed to do this. I'm like, is there a way that I could go around this to make it easier? I'm that kind of player. So it's like Carl does the same thing. He goes, okay, is there a more efficient or ridiculous way I could go through and do this? And then he goes through and does it. I'm like, I love it that it's not just oh, I need to do this. Okay, then I'm going to follow that trail. I'm like, no, I think I could find a better way that I can just chill and get the same results. That's a little bit more fun. And that's kind of what I like how Dinniman does it within these books. It's not very obvious what he seems like he's going to be doing every single book. Because honestly, it would get very boring if it was the exact same thing, just a different level, but he has to do the exact same thing. All right, I just got to beat this boss and on to the next spot. Beat this boss, go to the next one. It's like he makes it original and fun as he's going through each of these levels.
Well, he starts the level saying, just keep grinding, and that's what your job is right now. And then he doesn't do any of that, or very little, And he gets a quest, and then he's like, and he does a lot of like killing things where he's not in the room and like setting off explosives, and they're all like leveling up like crazy, and it's like they're not even there, And we saw him grinding in book 1, so I guess like we don't need a ton more. Right? He did a bunch of it. I was like, okay, this is good. I expected more grinding, and I didn't get it. It's like, that's why.
So speaking of quests and everything, Mordecai is almost pathologically allergic to doing actual quests. He's you remember the orc chick that showed up, and he's like, "Fuck off,
Gam Gam, Gum Gum."
Yeah, I think Gum Gum or Gam
Gum or Gam Gam.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: when Carl and Donut were like, "Ah, man, we kind of feel bad. Let's go talk to her and everything." Like when she like walked away, specifically audiobook. So Joe, you might not have experienced this. I felt like dirt just listening to how like they like the character just sounded so crestfallen and so sad. And I'm like, oh my God, why do I feel like this? I don't like these emotions.
She ends up dead too.
Yeah, which is even worse.
With the icing on the cake.
I mean, they did get revenge for her and everything, and finish the quest. But yeah, man, like it just goes to show you like how well a good writer and a good, I guess, actor, with I don't know his name, Jeff Hayes, I think.
Yeah,
the VA. Like it just goes to show you how much emotion that they can put into just throwaway characters. And speaking of characters kind of growing into their own and whatnot, what do you guys think of Mongo? Because he's kind of moving from the pet to an actual party member.
Well, now he's got new dentures.
Yeah.
yeah.
What'd you think of Mongo, Chris, with the grill?
It was pretty awesome. I like Mongo. I'm excited to see where that all goes. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It was good.
You can tell Mongo's smarter than a regular pet, but But besides that, he still acts like a pet in a lot of ways. Didn't when they put those in, didn't they spark or something? And it like scared the crap out of him. He went into a corner and peed. You're like, that's a dog getting super excited or super scared and going in a corner and peeing.
And Princess Donut has him pretty well trained, except for when like things randomly pop up. Then he's just like he has fight or flight, and it's always fight. He's like kill.
Yep. Yeah.
And Carl's like, and it's weird. Like I can just picture that in my head. That's like one of those kind of trope things that you like. As soon as the bad guy's like, Carl's like, we're walking by the alley, and he's like. He's like, Mordecai told us absolutely don't go in there. And then it's like, something, a sound pops off among us, like kill, and runs in, and Carl's like, no, damn it.
Damn it, Mongo. He says that at one point. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Well,
Damn it, Mongo.
He's
It's
part of the
effectively
group.
become his catchphrase now, right? The damn it donut. I think they
Damn-
even bring it up. They're like, it's your catchphrase. And he's like, oh, god damn it.
Oh well,
Is that
his one catchphrase that I think he only said it once or twice in the first book, but like, that's one of the things I seen the memes like you won't break me, before I started reading these books. He said it like 10 times in this, like especially after the big interview where he was just like, he's basically like, this is all BS. You're all like, how am I supposed to feel bad for you guys at all when you just came here, destroyed our world, and now you're just playing with us and like watching us and making fun of us? He's like, yeah, I don't feel bad that you're going bankrupt at all. And then they accidentally killed a different cast member or whatever, Crawler, because they didn't know what trailer Carl and Donut were in, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a big shift, right? Because he's potentially cost certain people like money and and aggravated them in book one.
Right.
But in this book, his actions have led to deaths of
Yeah.
people who are trying to run things.
Right.
Like the prince, whatever, the orc prince got killed. We think. I mean, I don't know if it's confirmed, but like it certainly seems like it. But
Maestro.
definitely that.
Maestro.
Yeah, but definitely that singer got killed. I mean, she wasn't an enemy, but he's having an impact on the external world, on these people who aren't supposed to get killed in this game, right?
Yeah.
They're supposed to make or lose money, maybe make or lose influence, but not die. And he's getting him killed. It's like, okay, he's having an effect. I don't know if he feels like he won, but
The Untouchables. Speaking of the Untouchables, what did you guys think of Zev? Their manager or whatever, the fish the fish chick.
Yeah.
yeah.
Took me a minute to remember.
Y'all don't remember Zev?
I remember now.
Zev.
Yeah.
I remember Zev. Yeah.
Well, I don't. Yeah,
Like
I don't
she's scared
think she-
shitless when she shows up.
Yeah. She was.
yeah. She wasn't as big in this book as the last one. I don't think, right? I think she
Was
only
she in the first one? I don't
I don't
remember
recall her
being
being in the first one.
or they alluded to her on multiple occasions, but I'm not sure if she popped up here, but I remember after Carl got the one person killed, and then they were like, the Donut was like, are they going to attack us again now that they know they messed up? They could just shoot us now. And then the person's like, oh yeah, we just destroyed that the ship with the prince in it or whatever. And they're like, I thought there was a war was about to break out. I'm like, that is crazy, But I think that showed that how big the dungeon crawler world like is to whoever owns it. Like because didn't they mention that some something about the celestial boxes? They're so expensive.
Yeah, they'll
That,
bankrupt a nation, or a world.
The most that's ever been given out in one season was like 18, and then like that bankrupted that whatever for 250 years. So like they're willing to do whatever they need to do to keep this going. But I did like how Mordecai was talking about they're speeding up the process. And I think it's because in the first book they talked about this company is like fighting off bankruptcy too already.
Borant, right? The Borant Corporation.
Company. Yep.
Yeah, the Borant company. Yeah. And they're speeding up the game, but the AI doesn't like that. So the AI was trying to give out better things to power up players. I was like, that was pretty sweet.
Well, when they did, all right, so this is later in the book, of course, but like when they did the injunction on the AI because the AI is like, well, I'm just following the rules you guys set. And he did this in this way, which was a unique way. So I was able to multiply the output and everything. And since it was like a global mission, everyone got celestial boxes. It was like over 100, wasn't it?
180.
Wow.
It would have been.
Yeah, and they're like, no, injunction.
Yeah.
And didn't Mordecai bring up that this is the first time it's ever happened this early in the crawl?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna do it. It will happen, but like this is the third floor.
But they've used it right now, so now they can't use it later.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
And it pissed the AI off so bad. And he gave him coupons instead, which did Mordecai say this is nearly as good as a celestial box because of what they're going to do with them.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Which was the coupons? I don't recall what the coupons are for.
For their living quarters. Like
yes. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that in book 2 or is that in the beginning of book 3? Because I don't remember the coupons. I wonder if that happens just after.
I thought it happened just afterwards because the AI was really pissed.
Maybe I skimmed
right after that.
Yeah, Donut loses her tiara. It gets destroyed by one of the magical pulses from the crystal that's going to blow up and kill everything within 45 kilometers or whatever. So the tiara disintegrates, which made me really sad.
Yeah,
I like the tiara. I was. I don't know.
The tiara of the sepsis whore. You gotta love the name.
Yeah, I mean that was it's so weird. I did feel bad for Donut. You know,
Yeah, she really liked the tiara.
I did feel bad that she lost her crown there. That oddly, you're like,
I feel like there was
who gives a
less-
crap? But you're like,
Yeah.
she really loved that thing.
Well, they tell you in the first book, there's going to be repercussions for her putting that on.
Mm-hmm.
Big ones.
Yep.
Well, because somebody else got it, right? Isn't that what happens? Like they were saying, if she drops it, somebody else in the, or if somebody else picks it up.
Yeah, it'll rematerialize somewhere in the dungeon for someone else to put it on if they want to. They choose to.
Now, they did say that, or I think Carl said to her, it's like, well, if somebody else picks it up, we can just kill them and you can take it back or something like that. I mean, I just like, and then like in the, what was it? The last interview that Carl did, he was like starting to get put over, like he was getting fed up. And he was just like, F it. Like these people, she's smart. I'm just going to grind from now on. And I'm going to get so strong that you guys aren't going to be able to stop us. And I'm just like, here we go. Here we go, man.
Well,
like,
he chose a class that no one wants to choose because you have a severe disadvantage in the beginning to pick it. But if you know what you're doing, if you have a plan set in your head, that you can become incredibly overpowered later on, which was Primal, right?
Primal,
yeah.
And so basically it lets all of his skills level up to 20 instead of maxing out at 15. And like a level 15 skill is almost like God tier already. So this is like going above and beyond. So if he knows what he's doing, it's going to be really bad for them later.
Oh, and like Chris, what did you think about when Carl and Princess Donut when they felt the power of somebody with super high charisma?
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining. That was pretty good. That kind of stuff, like, I don't know, it's just done so well in this book. But yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly that part.
I think he had to snap his pinky.
He had to break his finger. Yeah.
To break his own finger.
Yes, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
So, what do you guys think of the new introduction in this book, Katya?
Interesting character.
Nothing to say about her yet.
What?
She's like
which
the
character
shapeshifter, right?
Was that the brick?
Shapeshifter or whatever?
The doppelganger.
Yeah, doppelganger. Yeah,
The doppelganger. Sorry, monster
Yeah.
truck driver.
Yes, that was her class, was monster
Yeah.
truck
That was her class,
driver.
monster truck driver.
And
But she's
like,
just a
"Oh, yeah,
juggernaut, right?
I can work on vehicles." And they're like, "Oh, were you
Yeah.
a mechanic?" "No, I was an
No.
artist or a teacher or something."
Right,
She's
teacher.
like, "I just randomly
teacher.
got that skill."
Yeah.
She is going to be a bigger deal going forward because, like, I've noticed anytime Matt just kind of throws somebody in there and they're like, "Oh, none of their decisions make any sense," they are the right decision. Like, okay, like there's like that he made it known that like nobody helped her. Like she's with a crew. She was with a crew, right? But like the crew was like, "We can't help her anymore. She's too far behind us." Because she was only at like level 9 when everybody was like at 15 or higher. And and the one thing I do like, and Josh, I'd like to get your opinion on this, is Carl is now like in the first book, he was just like he would help people, but it wasn't to make allies. He didn't like the other big time players in the first book, but now he is making some allies here, which I thought was pretty cool.
I feel like he's starting to foreshadow that he can't do this by himself. And I feel like in the first one, he was like, "I'm just going to punch people and I'm angry." Now he's realizing that, hey, I kind of need some assistance here as I'm moving lower and lower down the dungeon. And it's kind of the big dynamic with him bringing on more people and trying to connect with everybody of like, okay, well, there's a reasoning for this. And again, I Carl has a vision. He sees what's coming down the pipeline. He's trying to be smarter about it.
Yeah. I mean, when they were like reading off her stats, I'm like, okay, Carl's gonna be able to use her.
Yeah,
like she's like down on herself. She goes, "Nobody helped me pick anything. I know all my stuff is just completely useless." I'm like, no, it's not. He's gonna figure out a freaking cool way to make you the hero of book 3 or something. Like, there's gonna be because like he's basically like she's almost indestructible, but she's so weak that like
it's like she was intentionally underleveled.
Was it Mordecai that was like, "Oh yeah, level 11, I went up against these guys and they were pretty much indestructible, but they're so weak, I would just grab them by the head and I just drowned them." I love
so she's
Mordecai's
not
story
strong.
because
It's all
Mordecai to me is Samuel L. Jackson. Like,
But I don't I mean, I guess we'll find out. I don't understand how they're going to use her. Is she just to run around and drop bombs on people? Maybe that'll be it. But that's my only guess. But I'm sure someone else will come up. Matt will come up with something better for her in a later book. I feel like she needed a little more to her personality to grab us. Like there wasn't that much going on. Like, oh, she's like really weird looking because she doesn't quite control her powers. And like, okay, that's something. And then she's like, "Thank you for taking me on." It's like, okay, but there wasn't a lot going on that was particularly interesting. So, I mean, I don't hate her, but it's just like I needed a little more to invest me. Assuming she's gonna be with them for a long time, and then she's the link to the Viking chick, the Icelandic chick, who's who you definitely we know we're gonna see her again.
Oh yeah,
and in an interesting way, but we it's that is that gonna be good or bad for Carl? We don't you can't tell yet.
But yeah, like Carl is building up alliances with the Viking chick, and then he like saved and then also apologized to the Asian guy, the Japanese guy. Because he's like, "I know we screwed over your quest, man. I'm sorry." He's like, and then like the guy got in trouble, like, and he like helped him survive or whatever. So now he's building alliances with stronger people, and I think like Josh said earlier, I think Carl is realizing like the more people that make it to the lower levels, the more people will make it to the lower levels. So he needs as many people as he can. Right. One of the funnier things was we might end up having to see Donut versus some Rottweilers.
Oh yeah.
because she ran her mouth and it got caught on tape or whatever. Like, it's like, I hate Rottweilers. Like, and now, and what it's like right at the end of the book, they're like single combat. It's like, Carl, I don't want to do that. I wasn't being serious.
Yeah.
What is that club called? The whatever, like the Renegade Club, and everything. Does that show up in this one? Like she started getting her dirty Shirley's
Club.
Desperado Club.
Desperado
Club.
That's it. Yeah. Did she go in there
the
and
Dirty
start
Shirley's? Yeah. That happened in this book.
getting drunk on some Dirty Shirleys and just start spouting off about the damn Rottweilers?
Oh yeah.
This definitely felt like a medieval like RPG here because it was very like the whole setting was very medieval, but like everything took place in like bars and pubs and and clubs and stuff like that. I was like yeah, that's cool. It's a little bit different from the first one. The first one was more like dystopian city, and this is more like medieval city,
And this is much more geographically contained. They didn't go very far.
Yeah.
Physically.
In the first one, it was like they were questing, like they were just going and going and going. This one, they were in like one providence, I think.
Yeah, the overworld, the big city.
No,
but I like how one thing I will say is like in the first one, I was like, man, there's too many stats, too much, too much of that. But in this book, not shortly after I started it, I kind of felt like Mistborn, where at the beginning of Mistborn, it's all like teaching about the metals and this metal does this metal does that. If you combine both metals, they do that. And it's like, and it took me all like a half of Mistborn to just, it clicks now. Okay, I don't have to think about it. Well, I'm kind of at that point now where it's like I'm not really thinking about the stuff. It's just they tell you and it goes, ooh, that might mean something later because this is now a higher level. But I'm not like having to like, oh, okay, 30,000 torches, like or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
was that something that you guys had to deal with a little bit too, or was that just kind of second nature that you guys just fell into that?
I'm an RPGer, man. It's fine with me.
Yeah, I've read a few before this book, so I was in it already from book one. I was in for the fun.
Okay,
but there was less of that in the second book.
Yeah, there was.
There was a lot fewer like loot boxes where you just get lists of things. Like that didn't happen very much in this book. So it was a combination where you got used to it, but they also did less of it.
Yeah,
so I thought it made it a better experience for me.
Yeah, same with me. I hadn't read a lit RPG or anything before this, so yeah, there was a lot of it in the first one. But like you said, that's a good comparison to Mistborn, where it is you had to kind of go through it to know what's going on. But now it just it bounces off you and you just keep going.
So Carl's benevolence in this book starts to pay off dividends. He met back up with the senile 90-plus-year-old people. And they're all, young, new bodies, fit and ready to go. Freaking Ellie's like an ice fairy type or something.
She was a fairy.
No.
Yeah, the 99-year-old just dirt.
We don't see her. He just sees the top 10 list and that she's on it, and she's like an ice maiden or an ice frost maiden, something like that. But that's how the book ends. So we don't actually meet her again. But we're like, I know her, and now she's like 10th top, and there's this huge bounty on her head.
She was the one with the secret like cart, right?
That's Agatha.
Agatha. Yeah. I'm surprised that he hasn't like pulled her out. I assume she's gonna become a big deal later in. I guess I'm gonna ask Joe and Chris this since Nathan and Josh have already caught up here. It's like, where do you guys feel like the next book's like gonna go? Because I feel like to me it's hard for me to know, because we're still have so many levels to go. So I'm not sure what the next big step is here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like obviously we're gonna have some repercussions from everything that happened at the end of it, because there's he's pissed some people off, even though he's been making allies. He's pissed some higher ups off. There's like a bounty on their head now, so I feel like there's gonna be some of that. But like you said, there's so many more books. I feel like we're gonna get more of him and Donut's relationship kind of growing, and probably meeting some more characters he can add to his traveling band and his allies. So I feel like it'll be more of the same, but somehow he'll make it awesome, just like he has the first 2 books.
Yeah, he's got to just like level up and develop new skills and combos. But my big question, I think, right now is Katya. Is Katya going to end up being like a part of the team that like they carry through with them for many levels, and like they develop like combo attacks, or they use her like abilities, or does she end up just like betraying them to Hekla and like lead to like a big where
Right.
And then it's back to Carl, Donut, and Mongo like moving on, because if halfway through this book it looks like, okay, Carl, Donut, and Mongo make a trio and they march through the levels, and I was like, well, where's Katya going to fit in that? Is she going to join that, or is she going to try to break it apart and they're going to have to kill her, or have her chase them around, like as an antagonist? And it's hard to say that with all the other crawlers. Like the one who definitely seems like she's going to be an antagonist is the number one, who I can never remember her name, but she's like the kid with the dogs.
Lucy
right?
Mar.
Oh, yeah.
Lucy Mar, yeah.
So right now it looks like she's the big antagonist in the sense of the other crawlers. But even that, I don't know. I could see that going in a different way too, because but she seems to have figured out a way to get. I feel like she's going to be like Carl's like sort of philosophical like opposite.
Yeah.
Right. She's grinding and power and kill everyone who gets in her way. And Carl, that's what he didn't want to turn into. Right. That's what he always meant by they won't break me. They won't make me into her.
Right.
But she's broken. She's that. So can he redeem her? Can he fix her? Does he have to defeat her? Like that's, to me, that's the sort of moral arc I'm looking for.
Yeah. Carl.
That's what I would do.
Carl even said something to that effect towards the end of the book.
She's just a kid. How bad was her upbringing? He's like, how fucked up was her upbringing that she's this kind of a person at this age, is when she's just a kid.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, she's just a kid. What happened to her?
But that is okay. I've been watching Reacher, right? And like in Reacher, the bad guys are just bad. Right? There's no sympathizing with. They're just the most cruel, sadistic, evil through and through you can imagine. And there's a certain level of satisfaction, because then when Reacher punches them in the face and shoots them, you feel a certain amount of they're monsters. They're monsters. They're very empty, right? Yeah. And so approaching the very powerful sort of antagonist, and you're looking at them like okay, what happened to her that made her like so, not like, oh man, I should kill her because she's so vicious and dangerous. It's more like what made her like. It's a very sympathetic approach to that he's showing. Like Reacher doesn't do that. Like if you ask Reacher, like, why do you think this guy is like torturing people? Reacher's like, he'd be like, I never really thought about it. He would say, I never really thought about it. Like, I just know I've got to shoot him in the face, right? And right, because that's how Reacher like. He's very smart. Like Reacher's very smart, but he's like, I don't really like. I'm not really thinking about their childhood. Like that's not his. That's not where he goes. But that is where Carl goes, and that to me, that's such a huge, different kind of character.
Yeah,
that was a long rant. I'm sorry.
No, that was really good.
That's perfectly said. I think
because this is what I write. Right. This is my whole series is about that. My whole series is my main character is always trying to approach everyone like, I may have to put you down, but that's not my first choice, and I want to try to understand why you're doing this.
Yeah. So
hopefully we can work through it. And sometimes you got to put the people down because it's like you got the rabid dog, and that just has to happen. But that's not where you go right away. Whereas Reacher is, oh, you're a problem. I'm going to shoot you in the face. which is fun. Like I like Reacher.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
great books.
Reacher is a man's show 100% because like it's all about Reacher being gigantic, beating up giants, being attractive to women, and just killing bad guys without thinking about it too much. I love it.
Yeah.
Reacher's really big on
100%.
planting those freedom seeds.
Yeah. He's also smart though. He's not just like a big lumbering bundle of violence.
He went against the big lumbering guy this season.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me I didn't see I've only watched like 5 episodes. So
it was so good.
I think we all know
it's
the best
amazing,
one.
but
Yeah, it's so good.
yeah, I've heard it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
But
I think I read the book.
yeah, I love the pop culture references we get here.
Oh,
Like we learned that the Greys have been around probably,
Yeah.
and they're all perverts, every single one of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I mean, all that probing, they'd have to be.
I forget who said it, but like,
Yeah.
but Donut was like, "You kind of look like aliens that we have written into our movies," and they're like, "Well, we're not supposed to make contact, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen." And then the person's like, and then Donut's like, "What about the probing?" She goes, "You're probably thinking about the things you call grays. They're perverts. All of them."
It's a very Stargate moment, right? When you meet the aliens, they actually look like the aliens from fiction, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
That's it. Yeah.
That's where that came from. That's good stuff.
So,
But yeah.
You wanna talk
I don't want
about
to keep
the-
everybody on here. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was going to say real quick before we hop off, do you want to talk about the actual aforementioned Doomsday scenario? Kind of a big deal. He takes like the indestructible box and puts the nuke into it, basically, and immediately puts it in the in his inventory, so it's frozen. Like then they were talking about how this thing has enough juice behind it to give one of the gods a damn black eye, or maybe take out one of them.
What 45 square kilometers is what it could blow
45
up?
kilometer radius.
Yeah.
That's more than a nuke, right? That's
way
big.
more.
Yeah.
Hence the Doomsday.
Well, and I do like that Carl. I guess we could talk about it a little bit, but like Carl is figuring out that he can put stuff into his inventory in different ways. Like put a dead body in his inventory. And dropped it on the Beanie Babies, and the lady's like, no, not my babies. But also, with the box, Carl's like, oh yeah, I was able to like pull it into my inventory. He goes, but it's gonna go off in like 1 second when I pull it out of my inventory. I'm like, all right, we get it.
Foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowed. Chekhov's gun. I get it. But yeah, I mean, I love that. I mean, he's leaving. He leaves really good seeds throughout the book that are gonna pop up in probably the next book or a couple books down. I think that's gonna be his strong point going forward, is all these little seeds that he's been planting in the first few books that are gonna become big things later on. For me, I mean, the hardest thing about Dungeon Crawler Carl is now going to be waiting to read it, waiting a few weeks to read the next one, because they're so fun, man. They're just, and that's one of the biggest compliments I can give to a book or a book series, just to be like, I had fun reading it. Like there are some books where people are like, oh, this is a legendary book, like one of the greatest, and you're reading it and you're just like, it's good. It's well written. I'm just not having a ton of fun.
Robin Hobb.
Oh, bro.
Shoot me.
Assassin's Apprentice.
Shoot me. She's an amazing writer, but it's just like everything's so grim and what's going to happen? It's going to be terrible. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be terrible for everybody. It's like, no,
sir, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I'm sorry to all the Hobb fans out there, of whom there are so many.
I've only gotten through the first one, to be honest with you, Joe. The first one, I was like, this is just not for me. There was too many animal deaths. I was like, I'm done. It's like
they
it's
get
just-
more. They get
They get
more before they get
more.
less. Yeah,
I've
more
only-
grim, more things are worse and worse and worse. What can Fitz put up with? Like, what can we throw at him in this book? Like, oh god. I have limited patience for that. I'm like,
if that's your favorite part, Joe, you're really gonna love Red Rising going forward. I mean,
I may stop at 3. We'll see how the end. I'll see how I feel by the end.
it's it's even to a higher degree than Dresden when it's just like it just gets worse for Darrow.
But Dresden has his victories. Like Dresden
Yes.
has his moments of where he gets to enjoy
That's why I
and
said
relish. And
more than Dresden.
it's
or at
not
least
just we're gonna beat Dresden down every page of every book. I mean, I think too much negative stuff does happen to him more than is to my taste. But he has his
he gets his
triumphs
wins.
too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm okay. I'm more than happy. Jim, if you're watching, I'm okay with. I know
As
he's
long as you don't
concerned.
miss with Mister, we're fine.
yeah.
Oh,
And no one
man,
killed
the
the
internet
dog.
would be in an uproar.
As long as
Take my
Mongo
cat.
makes it.
Yes, that's right. But I
They
don't
killed
want to keep
Mongo
everyone
for
here too
DNFing.
long. But I think everybody had a super good time here. Joe, what is coming up with you on your channel? We know you got some big stuff coming up with your books. You let us know beforehand, because if you want to let all the
Book 7, Shield of the Mothership, the Birds and the Bees in Space, should be out in the next. I want to say I don't have a date, but it's in editing. I'm getting a cover hopefully sometime in June, maybe even May. And then I have book 8 should be out this fall. And I'm getting audio done of the second and third books, Return of the Griffin and Blood Reunion. So same narrator. Wayne is back at work. Got on his schedule, made the contract today actually. So hoping to get those out by Christmas-ish. I don't know. Maybe with my luck, it'll be like mid-January when no one buys anything, but we'll see. And whenever we can. And on my channel, I don't have any plans on the channel. I need to make more videos, but I've been really lazy. And my day job got really busy this year. We lost people, so I'm doing 50% more work than I was. So my energy and my time have been sapped. But it's not really an excuse. But
I hear you.
So that's it.
All right, Josh, what do you got going on?
All right, this week's a lot of fun. We have a buddy read conversation. With Rowdy from Rowdy Player One. We're going to be discussing Empire of Silence, the first Christopher Rocchio book. And spoiler, I loved it. So just throwing it out there, I loved it. So I got a lot to say about that one. And then on Wednesday, I'm doing a live interview with Caden Love for his his most recent novel, Toothsucker, is coming out on the 30th. So we're going to be doing a live the day that his book drops. I've read it, reviewed it. It is crazy, this book. And it just, if you haven't read it or don't know what it's about, it's people have to eat teeth, human teeth, to gain their powers. And when I read the book, I had it envision in my head what the author looked like. And then you see Caden and you go, this guy does not look like this product. So it is going to be a great conversation. I have so many questions for him. Both of those interviews are going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check out the channel if you want to hear me talk to both of these amazing people this week.
Caden looks like he's 16.
He looks
He's like, the 16-year-old, Utah blonde, the braces, and it's teeth-eating vampires. Like, what the F?
Evil tooth fairies.
And his first book was organ transplant-based magic, and you're like, dude, you don't look like you have that brain in there. Clearly you do.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what do we got going on over there?
So this week I got some people coming on, but next week I'm actually having Caden Love on too. So you'll get to see him on Josh's and then mine too. But this week I have John A. Douglas coming on.
Awesome.
And then I have Brian Wilson coming on, and then Michael. I never know if it's Mikel or Michelle, but where's the book at? I had it right here. He just rebranded his fantasy books and has new covers for them.
It's Michael Michelle. Do not call him Michael. He hates that.
Not Michael.
Or you can say Joe Byrne told me to call you Michael, and then he will hate you so much. Oh, we were roommates at Dragon Con, so I know Michael pretty good.
Oh, good.
He would hate that. It would be hilarious.
Oh man, I'll tell him that I asked you how to pronounce it, and that's how you told me.
Michael. He'll be so mad.
I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget to ask him. But yeah, he's coming on, so it's gonna be a fun week.
All right, guys, and of course, everybody knows the Warlock jumps on here any chance we get whenever we're reading good fantasy or especially sci-fi. Now, he's got me into this. He's got me into We Are Legion, We Are Bob. So I don't know what it is. I'm on Red Rising, so it's all sci-fi right now. I guess it was all fantasy for the longest time, and now Joe's got the audio books coming out, so I got to start throwing some money his way again.
Codes, man, you don't need to buy anything.
And now
but yeah, I can't wait. I got More Than a Dragon is in its last little stages before I send it off to the editor. It should be out maybe around Halloween. Try to get a Dracula book out around, epic Dracula book out around then. So yeah, Dracula in the Roman Empire, if you will, guys. But so hopefully I'll have more to say about that. But thank you all for jumping on. This is so much fun. I love Dungeon Crawler Carl. Now this is going to be one of those books that it's just going to be fun to just chat about. I mean, it's all good.
I told you.
You did tell me, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.